Hey guys, just thought I'd do a quick video on this. Sasha Ngomazulu was named the SA Rugby URC player, SA URC Player of the Season, and I want to take a bit of issue with that because, and this is nothing against Sasha. Don't get me wrong. I think Sasha is a generational talent. He's he's one of a kind. He's certainly going to do massive things for Springboks, and I really hope he stays injury free and he really weaves his magic for everybody. But to me, this goes more about the award itself. An award for the player of the season needs to be an award for somebody who's excelled throughout the season, been consistent, who's played most of his team's matches, and has been, all round, probably a massive influence on his team's success. More than likely, it would be a South African player who's helped his team to the semi-finals. So anybody from the Sharks or Bulls probably would be an ideal candidate. The issue I have with Sasha's award, and I must stress this is media voted, so often what happens is that the media's darling or the public's darling gets these awards where a lot of the times I'm not saying it's not deserved, it's just you feel that there's somebody else better. And I'll lay out my case here. Sasha played he was off for 3.5 months of the season. He started in 8 or 9 games, if I'm correct, and came off the bench in 2. So he played 10 games in total for the Stormers of the 19 that they played. And that's where my issue lies, is he's an amazing talent. And in those games against Benetton and some of the others, he virtually won the game on his own at times and really performed exceptionally well. But this is not about one game alone. This is about the course of a season. And this is where I have the issue, is that, to me, he didn't play for half the season. So to give him an award as the player of the season sends out a message to the other players who've performed consistently and done exceptionally well that flashy play in a couple of games gets you an award. And that, to me, is wrong. Unfortunately, it's the old story, and anybody who's played rugby knows this. The forwards do all the hard work and the backs get all the glory, and that's nothing new in rugby. And we often see that players who get awards are normally backline players who score tries and make flashy moves and that. The other two, it raised my eyebrows, first of all, when he was nominated, because I thought, geez, he hasn't played that much this season. I spoke to a couple of colleagues, I wasn't sure about this, and so we went back and checked, and he definitely only played 10 games this season. So, unfortunately, I think what's happened here is that because it's a media vote, the majority of the South African rugby media either resides in Johannesburg or Cape Town, and that's probably swayed the vote. It's just the amount of people who like Sasha Ngomazulu there, and they're not wrong, but it's just it leaves a bit of a bad taste when players who've performed the entire season consistently don't get a look in because of somebody's the media darling. Now, who would be a better choice? Well, to me, the other two candidates, Cameron Hanekom, who won the Next Generation Player of the Season, which is also another one. I would have thought it should be more a newcomer of the season, but there's often that there's a couple of players there that could probably have challenged Cameron. He's been around for a season or so, a season and a half, 2 seasons. So I feel that should be more a newcomer award, but that's now what it is. That was voted by a media panel of all 5 countries. So there's a lot more, I suppose, variety in terms of the voting there as the South African award for URC Player of the Season. Wilco Louw is the guy who I think should have got that award, and quite honest about it, very open. I think Wilco's been the difference since he's got to the Bulls. The Bulls scrum went from the worst scrum in the competition to the best scrum in the competition. Of course, that's not him alone. That's also the work of Werner Creer and a number of the other players who are there as well. Jan-Hendrik Wessels, Gerard Steenekamp, Morne Smith. A bunch of those players who played as well have also been instrumental in that turnaround for the Bulls scrum. I know a number of people might not agree with me on this, and I'll probably be accused of seeing things from a Bulls viewpoint, but I think anybody who's watched Wilco Louw play and the fear that he puts in opposition's loose heads, the way he goes about his business rather quietly, the way he does everything so well, he's certainly, and I'm extremely excited to see him and Ox and Che go head-to-head in this weekend semi-final as well. I'm also extremely excited to see him and Ox combine as a combination for the Springboks at some point in the season. I'm sure we're going to get that as well, but I think that's going to be something to look forward to. But yeah, unfortunately, tight head props never get props don't ever get the accolades. And just as Oxenchair last year with the World Rugby Player of the Year should have been nominated. He destroyed teams across the globe. He didn't get any recognition for it, and I think Wilco should have got this recognition.
Yeah, and especially two forwards, boys. I mean, I think also, to be fair, it's the old Blue Bulls, Northern Transvaal. And when did you ever get a tight head prop that's been nominated for a prize in South Africa, you know? And I genuinely hope that he wins it, because I think that everyone spoke about what the premium is on tight heads. You look and see how the Stormers, when they dominated this competition, they had Malherbe and Kitshoff, and it just showed the value of having those kind of players in your front row. I know that other players have played well. Cameron and Sasha played really well, but I think that anyone who understands rugby, and I've said it to you many times, Doc Craven always said, when they asked him what's the most important position on the field, he said tight head prop. And they asked him the second most important, he said the reserve tight head prop. And he's, I mean, Doc Craven said that many, many years ago. So, geez, Quibus, I know I'm obviously biased, but I just think that what he's done for our club and what he's done for, you know, what he's done for our team, just by putting him there, has allowed us to play the way we do, and just again stresses the importance of having a tight head prop that can even be nominated. I mean, I don't remember in my time, I remember Oosterrand was nominated Rugby Player of the Year, but I can't remember too many other props being close to being on shortlists for players of any tournament.